Most people go to events and leave with nothing. No deals, no partnerships, no investors. You know why? Because you guys are doing it wrong. But today, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it differently, how it's worked for me, and how you guys can turn your network into your net worth and turn those conversations into real capital. Today was so amazing, and the number one thing that I learned is I don't just go to these events just to network. I go in with a real strategy, and I feel like that's why I go so far whenever I go to these events, because I'm not just going there to try to connect with every single person in the room. I don't even care to meet hella people, because to me it's too many people to even nurture. I rather like find a couple people that I actually really enjoy talking to and build and nurture that relationship, and then talk to those people over the next course of a couple weeks or even a month. For me, that has worked tremendously for me, as I'm going to events and rooms of people that I don't even know, and I just enjoy it that way better. I feel like it's more organic, and I'm just like an organic type of person. I like to be able to connect with people in a way where it feels like you have a similar mindset, I have a similar mindset, we have something in common, and I go into the relationship trying to add value into whatever they're looking for. And so that way, when I do have an ask or a need, they feel like they want to help me, because I have done nothing but show up and be supportive and provide value in whatever way that they may need support in. And for me, that has worked tremendously. I've said it time after time again. I feel like it takes multiple touches to convert someone to invest in your brand or business. And for me, my sweet spot has been like 7 touches, like having, whether that be text message, phone calls, Zooms, meetups, a walkthrough, investor dinner, brunch, whatever, trip. You need to have multiple touches with a person for them to know, like, and trust you. And for me, whenever I go to these events, I always try to go into it with the open mindset that I don't know who I'll meet, but the people that I do meet, I try to use that as like a strategy of leading with value and seeing what they want, how I can help them in whatever their situation is, and when it's my time, obviously telling them what I may need or want in the situation. So I'm sure at this point you're wondering, like, okay, Brittany, I get it. I need to go find events. I need to go places and talk to people. But like, how do you actually turn that network of people you meet into increasing your net worth? And I feel like that is what I'm going to break down step by step for you guys to be able to understand exactly how, when you meet someone, you can find a way to convert that person to help your end goal. And that's if you're on this channel right now looking to essentially, increase your investment portfolio, you're interested in investing or wanting to get into real estate or something of the nature of where you may need an investor or even a connection. It doesn't even have to be about just money. It could be a partnership. Whatever your why is, the goal is to be able to know why you're trying to network in the first place. And I think that just leads into my first step of whenever I go to any event. I always try to look into see who is my ideal person. Like, I want to identify the type of people that are going to be at the event, because I don't want to waste my time going to events where it's not going to be the best use of my time. Rather that be, maybe it's more like a beginner's class, or maybe it's a type of event where they're just selling a product. For me, those are not the type of events that I like to go to. I like to go to events that are leading with value, because that's what I believe in. You lead in with value, and if you have an offer later, then offer it after you've already provided so much value. So I try to identify the type of people that I want to be in the room with. And if possible, when I find an event or conference, I will do research to see what type of event it is, what type of speakers will be there, any host, where it's going to be located, if there's any like brand sponsors. I even look at, the type of sponsors that will be at an event. If I notice that they were at an event that I liked previously, I will even try to follow that brand and see what other events they're going to be at, because that's the type of people that I want to be around, which is in alignment of that sponsored brand. So that's something that I always try to do. Step 1 is identifying who is going to be at the event, what type of people is going to be, and research to see if the event aligns with my vision and what I'm actually trying to accomplish. Step 2, you guys already heard me say it, you need to lead with value. Do not go into these networking events telling people what you need, telling people like, can you help me? Because that is not how you nurture a relationship, period. I don't care who's taught you, where you've done it, even if it's worked in the past. That don't work, period. Like, if you want to have real relationships, you need to show up. You need to ask what the person needs, how you can help them. If you hear them say that they just moved here and they don't know any restaurants, tell them you have a list of restaurants you would love to send to them. Hey, maybe I can take you to one. You want to find a way to be able to provide value to that potential person that you want to connect with. I'm telling you, it'll work way better than you just going to an event and saying, hi, my name is Brittany Bell, owner of Bell Acquisitions. I own 142 units, $19.4 million assets under management. I'm currently raising $4 million. Would you be interested in investing? Would you give me money? Because I said I have a portfolio? Would you want to give me $100,000? You don't know nothing about me except for I have multifamily properties and I'm looking for investors? No. You want to be able to what? Know, like, and trust me. And the way you do that is by starting out by getting to know a person. And the best way to be able to get to know a person is leading with value, giving that person something to be able to go off of, be able to like say, oh, I remember Brittany. Brittany was the girl who just gave me hella free game and she gave me videos on how to start wholesaling, or she taught me how to do due diligence on my next investment deal because I told her I lost a lot of money on my last deal, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So I always go into conversations listening to people to see what it is that they're going through. I met a woman earlier. She was talking about even like doing business in Costa Rica. I'm like, oh, I know somebody that buys in Costa Rica. Let me give you her Instagram. So just things like that. You know what I mean? Like you want to just always try, like, and not even with like an alternative motive, but just think about it. If your shoes were in theirs, like, would you want to just like how you build relationships, even as a friend, right? Like I think about like my friendships and I'm like, it was as simple as maybe we were at a club and we both liked tequila and she was like, do you want a shot? I'm like, oh my God, I love tequila. She's like, oh yeah. And she kept giving me shots. Now we're friends. And now we got to know about other things about each other. And now we're in each other's ecosystem because you did something organically and you found something to connect with the person. Investors are humans. Treat them like them. They're not robots. They're not just a bank account with dollar signs. They're true, real people. And they have feelings, emotions, and they want to connect with people too. They want to feel like they like and know the person that they're investing in. So my last tip, step 3, is something that I actually struggle with because this is a type of channel where I want to be transparent. I don't want to just be telling y'all stuff and I don't do it. I will be real with you. I struggle with this, okay? And I think I would be a lot further along if I actually did this more. But I've been getting better at it. You want to follow up within 24 hours. I know it sounds crazy, like, Brittany, why you don't do that? Follow up in 24 hours. And that goes back to my main point of I'd rather have 5 connections than have 50 connections. And I can't juggle trying to nurture 50 relationships. I'm one person and I'm super busy. I'm operating so many deals in a team of 12. Like I don't have the time or the willpower or the just brain capacity to manage 50 new connections and 20 outreach that fast. Now, granted, you guys might say, Brittany, why you don't just get an assistant to do that? Granted, I have an assistant and she's busy too. She needs an assistant. So for me, I always say, that's why I focus when I go to events to just find a couple good gems versus trying to have too many people in the room and then you drop the ball, because you'll always be able to meet people again, right? So there was some familiar faces in that room that like I seen them. So it's like I could follow up with them again another time. You know what I mean? You don't have to try to milk the room on that one occasion. So for me, I try to, when I identify the people, think about the people that I really want to connect with or the ones that stuck out and make sure to follow up with those people. Number 3 is to follow up with people within 24 hours. I don't care what anyone else tells you. It's just like, you doing anything in life. It's right on your memory. You remember the person right then. If you message somebody 6 months later, are they going to remember you? Probably not. They're probably going to be like, who? Brittany? What? Wait, what event? I've been to 12 events since then, and not remember you. So you identify the people is step 1. You lead with value, that's step 2. And number 3 is to follow up within 24 hours. If you just do those 3 things, I'm telling you, you just off-rip will start building your net worth, because then you're building your network and you're actually building real relationships. It's very simple. Lead with value, show up, talk to these people like real, true people, and follow up in 24 hours. It's very simple. And I know it sounds like, okay, Brittany, those are very simple tips, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do the minimum. I'm telling you right now, I have been able to raise millions of dollars and I struggle with following up in 24 hours because sometimes I get too many contacts. And I'm just going to say it again. I'd rather you get a couple contacts that you can nurture than you get 1,000 contacts and do nothing with. So these are some things that I thought about when I went and did this event. It was a really good event. Make sure you just start asking people. As simple as just even asking people like, hey, what events are you going to be in? It could make a world of a difference. If you're sitting here watching this video right now and you're like, Brittany, I don't even know where to find events that are people that are doing what you're talking about. I was there at one point. I lived in LA. I didn't have any type of relationships when it comes to like investing, like this type of stuff that I'm doing. It wasn't until I moved to Atlanta where I started, getting into rooms like this. And you got to understand, me moving to a city that I never lived in, I've never lived outside of California. I didn't have connections either. I had to build the relationships I have now. And so with that being said, if you have no resources, step one, get your butt on Facebook, start joining every little free Facebook group that you can join on whatever topic you're interested in, right? It's real estate, investing, female bosses, entrepreneurs, whatever it is, start joining Facebook groups. You can go on Eventbrite, meetup.com, and Luma is another one, and find events in your city and start RSVPing and showing up, even if it's just you just gain knowledge for going. Like, you're not going to get anywhere further than you just being stagnant sitting in your room or staying in the places or going out and getting drunk on a Tuesday at the club. That's not going to help you elevate. You need to get into the room. And for me, that's one thing that you could do to essentially start. The first goal is to start and show up. And you started attending some events. Maybe they were just all free events. Maybe you know how to pay a little fee or something like that to get into the events. My next thing I want you to do is to start paying for access. I don't care what no one else says, and I'm not even saying this because I have something even currently to sell you. I'm telling you that this is what I did that changed my life. I started paying for access. I started paying for masterminds. I started paying for coaches. I started paying to be in communities. I started paying for event newsletters and things of that nature. Because why? At a certain point, you're going to feel like free events aren't the type of people you want to be around as you elevate. Now, granted, I've been to a lot of free events that are fire, but over time, as you get better and more into your business, you want to get into more elite rooms, and those elite rooms cost money. You got to think about it. Are you going to be around A-list people or people at the top of their industry at that free meetup event? Probably not, but it is a starting point. So it's like, once you get your feet wet, you get comfortable, you start learning how to network. You've already done a few free events, or maybe you've done that for a whole year, however long it needs to take you to get to that point. You need to start investing into communities, conferences, meetups, masterminds, communities, whatever it is. And that will make a world of a difference, because some access is not free. I don't care what nobody tells you. It costs to be a boss, period. And lastly, regardless if it's a free event or paid event, I want you guys to be intentional with the type of people you connect with, because it doesn't make sense if you have a network of thousands of people and none of them are the people that you want. That's something that I'm currently going through. Just having my previous background in marketing, PR, I was definitely an outside girly. And I feel like a lot of those people are not on the same wavelength as far as the things that I'm doing now. And so I'm pretty much having to rebuild my entire network, So it's like, yeah, cool. Like, I know all these people, but like, can I do business with these people? Or are they sleeping until 3 p.m. because they were out drunk all night? You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you're very intentional with the people that you meet and what type of events you're going to and the type of connections you're building. For me, I want access to people that have more knowledge than me. I want to be the small fish in the big pond. I want to be in a room where if I ask a dumb question, it's ample of people that can give me the correct answer. That is why I show up to events. So one, start with free events. You can go on Facebook, you can go on Eventbrite, you can go on Meetup, you can go on Luma, any other event free platform, Instagram, you might find it. Then once you get comfortable, you got your feet wet, you want to start paying for opportunities, conferences, meetups, communities that you start liking, whatever it is. And three, whether it's a free or paid event, I need you to be intentional with the type of people that you meet. So I hope this video inspires you to take action today. I'm always going to be the person to say, just start. You never know what you might get on the other side if you don't start. So if you start today, you don't know where you might be tomorrow. And I hope that this video inspires you to start networking, start getting into rooms, even if it feels uncomfortable. Maybe find your why, find your passion, find your future business partner, investor, capital that you're looking for. And I hope that as you guys go through this journey of me building my $100 million portfolio, that is what I'm on the goal for, going from 19 million to 100. Don't know how I'm getting there. There's so much that I don't know, but I show up every day as if it's my last day, and I put in 110%. Just so that way I know that at the end of the day, I did the best that I could. So that way when I start again tomorrow, I'm working to get to that goal, which is $100 million portfolio. And who knows, maybe one day it'll be $1 billion goal. But for now, that is my micro goal. And I hope that I can inspire someone watching this and to do something today that you wouldn't have thought you would have did. So, and follow and stay tuned for the next video. Cheers.